Okay, hello everyone. Today we are discussing about the Newton's law. So Newton's gives you three laws. So let us discuss the first law today. According to the first law says you that if the body is at rest, it remain at rest unless a force is applied on it. Or if the body is moving, it keeps moving until and unless an external force is applied to it. So these are the two things. That means okay, first law says you that case the body do not moves by itself, we have to apply the force. Body do not stop by itself, we need to apply force for the moment. So this is your first law. Now this first law is also called the law of inertia because it's determined the inertia of the body, so it's also called the law of inertia. Now inertia is divided into two categories: the inertia of rest and inertia of motion. Now before that, let us discuss on what is inertia first. So inertia is that property. Inertia is that property of the body by virtue of which the body do not wants to change its initial state. Whatever is the initial state, if the body is resting, then it keeps resting until and unless we apply an external force. If the body is in motion, then it keeps moving until and unless we apply a force. So that means the body do not wants to change its initial state. Whatever is the initial state, the body do not wants to change its initial state. So this is the inertia, okay, that body do not wants to change its initial state. Now inertia depends on two things. Inertia depends on mass and inertia depends on the velocity of the body, that means the speed of the body. So let us discuss first of all about the mass. Suppose I give you two stone, one is of 10 kg and second one is of 10 grams. So for the moment they are resting on the ground. For the moment, that means we need more force to move the stone of 10 kg as compared to the stone of 10 grams. So that means inertia depends on mass. More the mass, more is the inertia. Less the mass, less is the inertia. Similarly, if two vehicles are moving, suppose the speed of first vehicle is 100 meter per second and the second vehicle is, say, its speed is 10 meter per second. So when we want to stop them, so we need more force for stopping a body which is moving with more speed. So that means more is the speed, more is the inertia. So it means that inertia depends on these two factors. Now inertia also gives you the definition of force. Inertia also defined the force. So the definition is that force is that external cause. That force is that external cause which tends to change the state of rest or state of motion of an object. Means ke force try to change whatever is the initial state. When we are applying force on a body, it's try to change the initial state of the body. Now in this chapter, it is a very small chapter. Some consequences which are based on this, they are very important. Of course, the question will be asked from these consequences. The first is, when train suddenly start moving forward, the passenger standing in the compartment tends to fall backward. Now what is the reason for that? Okay, the train is suddenly start moving. That means the body is in the state of rest. Body is in the state of rest. When the train suddenly start moving, then what happen? Its lower part of the body come into motion while the upper part remains in rest. So because of the inertia of rest, the body or the passenger tends to fall backward. The second consequence is, when a hanging carpet is beaten with a stick, the dust particles start falling out. The reason is that when we start beating the carpet, then what happened? The carpet come into the motion, but the dust particles remain in the condition of rest, and due to the force of gravity, they start falling down. The third is, on shaking or giving a jerk to the to the branches of the tree, the fruit falls down. Again, the reason is same, because of the inertia of rest. When we shake the branches of the trees, then what happens? The branches come into the motion, but the fruits or the leaves remain in the state of rest, and due to the force of gravity, they start falling down. The fourth one, on striking the coin at the bottom of piles of the carom, coins with strikers lowest coin only moves while the rest of the piles remains intact. So again, the reason is same. The lower one come into the motion while the upper one remain in the state of rest. So due to the inertia of rest, only the coin which is at the bottom start moving. Then we are having the fifth one, when the smooth and card placed over the mouth of the tumbler flicked sharply in the horizontal direction, the card flies away, but the coins keeps over the card of the falls into the tumbler. Again, the reason is same. When we flip the card sharply, then what happens? It comes into motion while the coins remain in rest, and due to the force of gravity, it falls down. Then we are having the inertia of motion also. The cyclist riding along the level ground do not come to rest immediately after it stops the paddling. So again, the reason is same. Due to the inertia of motion, then what happen? When he stop paddling, that means when he stop applying the force on the paddles, still the vehicle or the cycle remains in the condition of rest, condition of motion. So that's why it keeps on moving. It do not come into rest suddenly. Then we are having the second one, when the passenger jumps out of the moving train, he falls down. The reason is same. Due to the inertia of motion, then what happens? The body is in the state of motion with the train. When it jumps from the train, its feet, its lower part of the body come into rest while the upper part remain in the motion. So that's why he fell down. Then we are having, when a running car stops suddenly, the passenger tends to lean forward. Again, the reason is same. Due to the inertia of motion, the whole body is in the state of motion, while when car suddenly stop, then what happens? The lower part comes to rest while the upper part in the motion. That's why it tends to lean forward. Then we are having an athlete often runs before taking a long jump. The reason is same. He brings his whole body into motion so that he can take a jump, nice jump. Then we are having a ball thrown vertically upward by the person in the moving the train come back to his hands. Again, the reason is same. Since his body and the ball, they are in the state of motion with the train. That's why it comes into his hand back, moving train comes back to his hand. Again, the reason is same. So read these consequences. If you have any problem, you can ask me, and do these answers. It is a very small chapter. Please do these questions. And if you have any problem, you can ask me on the WhatsApp. Thank you.